Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It is the week after Worlds, or I guess we got to call it the Galactic Championship because FFG couldn't just be logical and use the same terminology they've used for years. But yeah, so I went to Galactics and I thought, hey, we were gonna cast, and then my life just got in the way, and it's just crazy the amount of stuff that happens when you're gone for like 5 days. So I got back and I was way too exhausted, and I'll tell you some stories in a second, but I was a little too exhausted to do much for the last couple of days. Pretty brain dead. So Alex agreed to meet me on this off night. We're going to get out a short episode, talk a little bit about statistics, talk a little bit about some of the top 8 lists. There's obviously a surprise list that everybody's been buzzing about that we'll talk about. And don't worry, I'm gonna push Alex into telling me whether he thinks that list is going to be good still, or if it was just a good meta call. And then we're gonna cover some of the top 8 lists and a few other lists that I found were amazing. So joining me on mic tonight is the one, the only, the bench warmer, the Alex. How are you tonight?
The Alex.
The Alex. I mean, you got me on a Thursday night, so it's crazy.
There's an Alex at where I work who's been there for many years. He's the boss's son, and they call him Alex 1.0 and me 2.0. So I guess I'm moving up in life. The Alex, sure.
The Alex, or you are the Alex of the stream. Okay, so I got a little story real quick before we get into it. People sometimes people at my locals, because you're on the show so much, right? That the guy that runs that is our store manager for our local scene is also named Alex, and they confuse the two of you. But now it's not as easy because you don't have the long beard anymore. So before you had that really long beard. Alex at our store has a really long beard, but he's also got a lot less hair than you do. So that's a huge difference. But people would be like, "Oh, is that Alex from your podcast?" I was like, "No." It's like, no. If that was the case, we'd be podcasting right the fuck at the store,
And I wouldn't make a lot of wrong coast of Michigan jokes.
Exactly. Anyway, so good to be back. I had the podcast bug in me the whole weekend. So it was very hard not to cast when I got home, but I got about 2 hours of sleep Sunday night into Monday. My flight was at 7 a.m. So I had to be in Las Vegas airport they wanted me there by 5:30. I think my Uber picked me up, or my Lyft picked me up at 5:30, and then I didn't get there until 6 and sweated the whole way through the line, worrying that I was not going to make my plane. And I didn't go to bed till 2:30, 2:45 that night. So I got about 2 to 3 hours of sleep, if you could call it that. And my snore machine that I CPAP that I wear, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't sealing correctly, so I didn't even get to use that. So it's just Tanner was drunk. And I was drunk, and then I tried to sleep without an air machine, and so I didn't get much sleep that night. And then I had to be to work the next day. So
yeah, from all the my locals who went, they're just we just drank and gambled and didn't sleep for 4 days, so everyone's just exhausted. Sounds like a blast though.
It is. I will tell you, I officially lost no money. I actually made $150. So I will say that I was up a lot more than that. But when I hit about $300, I was just shy of the 300, and I put 150 in. I cashed out. I was like, all right, it's 130. I'm done. I should have cashed out at midnight when I was up $350, because our blackjack table was running hot. We had a guy sitting with us that was up over $1,000, and then none of us cashed out when we should have. So, yeah. So there was that. It was fun. I only gambled 2 nights though. I did not gamble all 3. I played Twin Suns one night. That was fun. So I got to hang out with some of the X-Wing crew again. Nice. So Sandy was there. So that was super fun. She invited me to play Twin Suns with some other X-Wing dudes I never met before. Outside of maybe I saw them at Worlds, but outside of that, I never met them. So that was really fun. We got to play some weird. I built a Twin Suns deck to play at the event, and it didn't matter. I didn't play Twin Suns at the event.
You should have came to me for some Twin Suns decks. I got some silly ones.
I know. Next time, I definitely will. I had one put together, my Cad Bane Jabba deck, because I have the Jabba Showcase. It's the only time I ever used the Jabba Showcase.
Sure.
And I had it built from like 2 months ago, so I just swapped a few cards out for some of the newer stuff and just said, whatever, it's already built. I'm just going to take this.
No love for 15 Vulture Droid Von Reg Vader.
That would be fun. Somebody brought Vader, and they were immediately we immediately all went in on him. He brought, oh, by the way, that stupid ship that the strafing gunship that can swing down and hit the ground. Yeah, he had that in his deck. He put Vader on that. That was super fun.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a
Just
very
swinging at the ground for 8.
Yep, and the -2 back. No, yeah, Saboteur. I put a Sentinel down. It didn't matter. Like just killing everything. So the second game I played against that guy, we went in on him and he did not do very well. So everybody was like, no, we're not going to let you get that Vader combo off again. No, thank you. And I'm not the only one that runs more than 80 cards in a Twin Suns deck. Like some of those guys had 100 cards. So like, I mean, there you go. You can do it.
Most of mine have been Data Vault, so I'm forced to 90 anyways. But I feel that's a little bit more comfortable. I only got to cut like 2 or 3 cards instead of like 15.
Yeah, he was running Lake County. There you go. So,
one of my locals did Lake County Grievous Vader, Vulture Swarms, because those are droids and you can give them Sentinels.
Cool. Yeah. It's fun, and like the vultures allow you to just like, I mean, if they don't kill them, you're just screwed. Like when one of them can swing in for 10, you just like, what do you do? Like it's like, oh my gosh. So that wasn't the only thing I did. I played. So I guess we aren't going to go through my whole run. I did not make day 2. So there you go. I did go 5-3. So I feel that was pretty respectable. I came in 439th or 36th or something like that out of 1,985 people. So I feel I had a decent run. I obviously did not meet my goal of making day 2. Unfortunately,
Trench.
I should have played Trench. There was a lady there that did play Trench.
We're on stream. It was awesome. Yep. I was there.
She was number 1 for 1 round. She was the number 1 player for 1 round with her Trench deck. So
all I care about.
Yeah, I actually talked to her quite a bit. She's going to probably come on the show at some point, and we're gonna have like we're gonna have a Trench only show. That's what we're gonna do.
Only Trench show. Hell yeah.
Yep, an only Trench show. We're just gonna have one. We'll have one show where everybody's gonna be pissed off. We're gonna just talk about Trench, and especially because the new set got spoiled. And I think the new set actually is going to benefit Trench a little bit more than it should, especially until sets rotate. So
yeah, that's gonna be fun.
So that's
my playtesting group is just like, I'm trying out this Trench hard control, and I'm like, I see a unit in your hand. That's probably not right.
Yeah. So we are going to have her on the show. I'll have to reach back out to her because I didn't have a ton of time to connect with people. It's very hard to connect with people when there's over 3,000 people in that area. Like it's just like it's insane, and especially if you've never met somebody before. And I won't lie and say I was grinding tickets for showcases. So I got 2 Vader showcases and a Luke showcase. I collected of the silver packs. I have 1 copy of everything. For those, I have at least 1 extra, if not 2 extra Boba Fett's, an extra Ahsoka, and an extra Quinlan and Asajj. I did not get an extra Vader. I was a little sad because people were selling Vaders for $150, and so then I was like, well, I'll do it for $120 because like it's hard to pass up $120. But then it's like, man, that's gonna break up my collection. I don't know if I want to do that. They also had these little pin passport things, and this one you had to get from a dev. I forgot you're on a different camera.
Super laser tech pin.
Yes, this pin
That's
itself
awesome.
was you had to find a dev that had them and challenge them, and that's the only way to get this 1 pin. But they had like 11 other pins you could collect. There's like a Boba Fett one.
So you really should have ruined their game philosophy by playing the Trench deck against them.
Yes, I should have. I did not bring Trench, and I'm very sad by it. So they also gave out this cool pin. I'm guessing, I don't know if everybody got it, if you just got it for the premium pass, I got some token sets. They gave out these sleeves. I have a Revan mat, but I've already sold it, so the Revan mat is gone. Otherwise, I'd show you what that looks like. But my prized possession, I got some Mr. Bones sleeves, and I got the Mr. Bones mat. Priority number one.
That's all you needed.
Was that. Everything else was nothing. That was that.
It's no Jar Jar, but it is pretty slick.
It is no Jar Jar, but it is official. This was the league mat they were giving out. We got really lucky, so we got there early. So I guess I won't go into the whole debacle of my hell life. Like, my plane got bumped out of Grand Rapids, and so without telling me or asking me, they actually moved my connecting flight because I wouldn't make it in time. And they sold the seat to someone else. And so the only flight they had open was at midnight, I would get in at midnight in Las Vegas, and I had to fly to Seattle. So I had to fly to Chicago, sit in Chicago for 3 hours, fly to Seattle, sit there for 2 hours, and then fly to Las Vegas. So I ended up buying an Allegiant ticket because I didn't know what else to do. And we got there early, and they had like a cool shield token you got if you like registered early. I got my VIP, or not my premium swag, which is really cool. And then we dicked off that night and just kind of went gambling and drank and did some stuff. And then we prepped for the next day. And then that next day, all I did was play in the event. And then we went out afterwards, and that was fun. But the big thing was I didn't know this. There was an open the next day, and I guess like if you made top in the open, you were gonna get a buy for next year. So I didn't play in it. I just grinded tickets. I did not know that was a thing, and everybody's like, "You should have known that." I was like, "Well, I would have played in that event." Like I just thought it was like another event and like another championship thing. But no, if you would have made top 8, you would have got paid out in points. And I was like, all right, well, that sucks for me. But I found this guy. And I think his name is Jason. This dude was the best guy. He taught me how you split tickets and like how you can like. I don't want to say we gamed the system because technically we didn't game the system, but like the way the pods were set up is if you wouldn't play in a premier pod, if you got 100 tickets just for entering it, and then you got 100 tickets when you lost, and if you won, you got 300, and so you essentially could collect over 1,000 tickets per pod. What we figured out is that we could split them almost evenly. So we played the games. The first game, whoever lost got 300 tickets plus your 100. So you got 400 tickets. The next game, if you lost, you got the 300 tickets plus your 1. So you ended up with 400 tickets total. And then by the third round, which was basically their 3-round best of ones, it was just 2 people. It was just champions. And we just split whatever the prizes were. So if you made it to the third round, you got paid out basically 600 tickets, and if you played in the first 2 rounds, you got 400 tickets. So that way everything was almost even, and nobody was just trying to be sweaty. And so then we just busted through games. Like I played a game against Eric. I played a game against Eric where we literally we said we're not going to kill units, we're only going to do damage to base. That's it. We're just going to base race just for the fun of it. He cheated a little bit. He uses red 3 to kill a couple of mine. I still won, but
Red 5?
Yeah, he uses red 5 to kill one of my units. I'm like, hey, come on, man, that's not cool. Like, why are you doing that?
It's an on-attack ability.
I know, but we were just base racing. But so we did that for 2 days, and that was super fun. We only did it for half a day on Sunday because we wanted to go eat at a nicer place, and I wanted to try to make some of the panels. And I wanted to see people, but the prize line on Sunday was insane. Just like,
yeah, that's
it
what
was
I've
bad.
heard.
So I got lucky. We knew some of the guys, and there's a guy that wasn't using his VIP badge. So I went in under the VIP badge, and I got the prize wall stuff that I had. But the problem was then if you played during the day, you had to go back and stay in the line. And it was like the line literally wrapped around the whole area. And it was about an hour and a half to 2 hour wait is what it was. And then they were running out of stuff. And some of that was because there was no regulation on what you could get. So, for example, I got every one of the cards off the prize wall that I could get, except for the freaking Super Laser Blast, because somebody turned a bunch of tickets in and bought a bunch of Super Laser Blasts on Friday and Saturday morning. So then the rest of us couldn't get them. And because I played in the main event on Friday, I didn't get very many tickets. You got the 500 freaking tickets, and that was it. And if I hadn't done so well, like if I had lost more, I would have been out sooner. But they were giving away silver packs, like for all the wins. Like, so I got 6 or 8 silver packs out of this. Like, so I didn't really want to quit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because it was like you win 3 games, you get a silver pack, and then for everyone after that, you get more.
Yeah. Yep. So I ended up with like 6. I either had 6 or 8. I can't remember which anymore. So I didn't keep track. I got a ton of them. They only came with 2 cards in them, by the way, though. Just so you know.
Oh.
So that was different. That's why the cost of those things are going up now. Is because you could buy them off the prize wall for 800 tickets, which essentially that would be for if you went and did the premier pods like we do, and if you did them where we split tickets, that was basically 2 premier pods. And we were grinding a premier pod an hour on average. It just kind of depended. We if we were doing really well, we could do it in 30 minutes. But then you had to go back and wait in line, and that was the whole thing. Yeah. So that was kind of a debacle. They also let you churn in prize wall tickets for or side event tickets for prize wall tickets. So you could walk up and buy them. So people on Sunday were going up and buying side event tickets and walking over to the prize wall and trading them in. And some guy spent, I'm going to guess, 10 grand on Luke and Vader showcases because he had a stack this thick. And I was like, okay. It's like while he was buying them, I was standing there and I kind of like moved over and I said, hey, before he buys them all, you're going to make sure that more than just him gets these, right? And they're like, oh yeah, don't worry. And I said, because I want these and I have the tickets for it, and like I don't want like 70 of them. I just want one of each.
Right.
And yeah, so that was the whole thing. And I know other podcasts probably have talked. I don't want to spend an hour like talking about it, right? Like it is what it is. Like it was a negative experience. There was a lot of people that felt negatively experienced. I'm going to tell you, I felt the day overall for all 3 days was run very well. And I feel that like for FFG as a company, I feel a little upset because FFG should know better. But for the team that ran it, who had not been doing these type of things ever in their whole lives, right? Like this is like new stuff for a lot of these people. I think they put on a very good event, personally. And they made it feel like you were at a Magic, like if this was like a Magic or a Flesh and Blood type tournament, that's how it felt. Like it felt official. Though they didn't do deck checks, by the way. No deck checks the whole time. Go to a sectional, you get deck checked, but don't go here, you get no deck checks. So yeah, I don't know. So that was kind of my like high level, million foot level experience. Of course, I went with a lot of local Michigan players. It was so much fun. Just being able to hang out with your locals again. I will tell you, don't get Eric drunk and let him play blackjack without you. So I was betting bigger hands than I normally would. So there's that. And by the way, they tell you you're supposed to split aces. Don't fucking split your ace. Every time I split my aces, it didn't hit ever. I just got effed every time. And then one time I triple split sevens. Like I just like split seven. Like I got 3 sevens. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I lost those as well. So that was super fun. But other than that, like, I think overall, personally, I think the event was very well ran. I think that they learned from their mistakes on the fly pretty quickly. And I think if like I had any opportunities for improvement is what we would call them at work. It is just how they do the prize wall. It would be better if they had like a scanning system that kind of like stopped you from getting getting all these extra stuff that nobody else got. It would have made it a lot easier. So, or let you use a cart system where you could put things in a cart and then it can limit you. And then you can, because that's how they did like the convention exclusive. I also got a Droid convention exclusive pack while I was there. So if anybody would like to buy it, I'll happily sell it. If anybody wants it. Because I don't know if I need it. So, but I bought it because I was there.
Cool. I'll take it. I hate the art, but I want it.
Yeah. It's not as cool as the other one, but like, I'll tell you
so
what.
Unreadable.
Yeah, it was just like it was hard not to like. I got like you had to like hurry and rush like on the website, and they were only giving a couple hundred out a day or something like that. So we got like a bunch of the guys in my group got one, and I got one. And that one they actually scanned in like your badge and like your email address, so like you couldn't go up and double dip. Like I guess you could use a fake email address, but with a fake name. But they they checked my license and everything. So like I mean I don't even know how you would scam that system. Like I don't know. So I got one of those. And like if they ran the prize wall similar to that, but stop people from being able to load up like every super laser blast, then it would be better. Like I don't really want to pay $125 for a card that I could have got it at an event that I was already at. You know, like I guess I understand like people who weren't there, giving them opportunities, but like I like the one card I'm missing because in hindsight I didn't think about it, you know, ahead of time. So I don't know. Maybe next year we'll try and get like a whole planning phase. So they announced it. I guess I'll announce now. They officially stated it'll be basically the same weekend next year at a very same location. So people have time to plan now. So hopefully maybe we'll see if we can get a planning phase syndicate fund or something like that where we'll all pitch in like a couple dollars a week or something like that, and then maybe you, me, and JJ we can go together. We'll room together, and I don't know. Do you drink much? You kind of drink, so you do kind of drink a little bit. I know you used to drink at X-Wing stuff.
I haven't drank it a bit. I used to be, probably a solid 6 to 7 to 8 beers a night kind of thing. But I've had to curtail that.
Yeah. So I'm only thinking because I need somebody to help me like make sure that when I get drunk I don't lose a bunch of money gambling. That I need that. I need that sober person that goes, Tanner, don't bet $150 on one hand. Don't do that. You're not a dumbass. I didn't do 150, but I did 100. So yeah. So I don't know. You want to get into statistics and lists and all that fun stuff? Oh, we didn't go through. Oh, I know what we'll go through first. We'll go through our predictions because we didn't do that yet. Because they were drastically wrong. If you did not know.
I mean, we're going into a new meta with no tournaments established, just grasping at straws or whatever we think is going to be there.
Yeah. So what wins Worlds? We all were 100% wrong. And JJ, I don't know, JJ, why you thought Quinlan Green Force was going to be. I don't even think there was a Quinlan Green Force deck there. Just so you know.
I'd be very surprised if there was.
Yeah. You guys did get the most represented leader. No big surprise there. The most common base you and I got. The deck to overperform obviously was Quinlan Tarkentown, which is sad because I was going to play that and then I swerved. So I should have just played that.
Over Han 4 Tarkentown overperforming?
Well, we didn't have that on our list though.
Sure.
Okay. Yes, Han 4 Tarkentown was the other one. Yeah, that one was definitely not on the radar at all. Or Kylo Red. There you go. The Kylo Tarkentown
need to be better.
Yeah. And nobody guessed who was going to win Worlds. I don't even know who Josh Freeman Birch is or if he was there. So
he was.
Okay. I have no idea what place he came in either. So
I do not know.
The random predictions, I do not know if there was an angle shoot on stream. So
I don't know either, but man, I tried.
And I was wrong. I didn't get stoned once. There was no dispensaries and nobody else, I guess, gets high. It's like I do. So I did not smoke weed for 5 days.
I can't believe you failed your own prediction about yourself.
I know. It's horrible. It was awful.
That's impressive.
Yep. Well, we had plans every night, and then by the time we finished eating, like we were all way too lazy to walk there, and like it just felt wrong to like spend $30 in an Uber to go 1 mile. Like that just felt bad. So we just didn't, and whatever. It's fine. I was drinking while playing, so does that count? Anyway,
almost.
All right, so let's go over a little bit of the statistics and let's get into some top 8 lists. And we are going to talk a little bit about future meta. Not a whole episode's worth, but we'll talk a little bit about future meta. The first thing Tyler officially stated there is no points changes or bans or any, I guess it wouldn't be points, no bans or restricted lists or anything that are going to happen this week at all. So they're not ruling out anything, but there definitely will not be any bans. So yeah, so I don't know. What do you think about that, Alex? I've talked a lot tonight. So,
well, I mean, like Gen Con is this week, right? Or like currently going on. So I'm sure they didn't want to mess anything up for that before they announce any changes, bannings, or unbannings, whatever. So that's probably the reason.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna
after, but like
if they unban Django, I'm playing Django. So just so you know ahead of time, I will be that guy because I played Django to begin with. So I will go back to Django. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. So let's look at day one deck percentages. So obviously Han Solo came in. Han Solo Force Base Blue. This is ridiculous. We have to say all these words now. So Han 2 Blue Force Base had the highest representation in day one. Vader, which I did not expect to have that high of a representation, but Vader came in at 7% representation, followed by Telzin and then Han Green. So Han was 21% of the meta day one. I played 3 mirror matches on Hansu Blue. I played Hansu Blue. I can't remember if we talked about what I was playing before I left or not, but I was a scrub and played Hansu Blue. So
should have played anything else.
Yep, I should have played Quinlan. That's what I should have played. So then, as you can see, then we had Cad Bane was kind of the next. Kylo Ren ECL was very highly represented. A lot of people were playing that. I actually wanted to run into a Kylo ECL and did not get to run into a Kylo ECL. Like a lot of my deck was actually teched for Kylo ECLs and Telzins, and I did not play any of them. Then we had Sabine, Anakin coming in at 3.2%, which I think is pretty good. Like I felt that was a decently strong deck into Han. Personally,
he was also going to be the most represented leader there.
I did it. He was not. I just couldn't say Han. That was all. I just didn't want to say Han. But yes,
we should have went for second then. I would have said Vader for second.
That's fair. That is fair. And then there was Kira, Boba Fett, Gar Saxon, Yoda, another Kylo. Kylo just all over the place.
Kylo Dad evolved this time.
Yeah. Boba Fett yellow. Gar Saxon yellow, Palpatine Colossus, baby. Just so you know, there was some Palpatines there. Not a ton.
It's interesting that Gar Saxon ECL was more popular than like Gar Saxon yellow, because I saw a lot of people really dive in on the Gar Saxon yellow thing.
Yep.
But I don't know. There was 11 more Gar Saxon ECLs, which I like better in general, but
It's that
kind of weird.
It's just that they love that Vader. It's just that Vader combo. People just play that one combo and they love it. So
yeah, they can 2-for-1 unit, and then like I swing next turn and win.
Yeah. So I think that kind of drove it. There was an almost a 1% representation of Piat Red, and I was a little surprised by that. That even made the top percents, but it's kind of exciting. I didn't get to face any of it. But that was kind of exciting to see some Piat up there. So now we go into conversion rate. Han Solo Blue had the highest conversion rate, 23%. So there you go. Sabine and Talzin were the next, with Quinlan Voss. Anakin had a very high conversion rate compared to his bottom end rate here. So he came in at 3.2%. And he converted at 4.7. So Anakin technically was probably one of the better conversion rates besides Han. So Han, obviously, Hansu Blue.
Say Han had like an 8% conversion rate, which is higher than I thought that would be. I think people would be like more familiar with the deck.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought so too. And some of it, and again, we could talk about the force throw thing later. I think some of it's, did you see force throws? Did you not see force throws? Can you strip their hand? Can you not strip their hand? You know, that type of a thing. And so I think that's kind of what gives Han Solo, and we'll see here in a few minutes if it translates into day 2. So if we look at the statistics, essentially 285 people made it in, so 14.5% converted to day 2. So if it was less than 15%, I can't remember what I predicted. I think I predicted 13% is what I had said. So it was a little bit.
I do not remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either, and I didn't write it down. So there was a lot of us at 5 and 3, 300 of us that did not get in. But this was kind of the conversion rate for it. So that was kind of neat to see. So 285 players made it out of the 1958 to make it into day 2. So now we move on to day 2 deck percentages. Guess what's the top one there? Those Han Solos. Along with Mother Talzin.
Han Solo, Blue Force.
Yeah, Blue Force. Han Solo 2, Blue Force. Talzin, Quinlan, Sabine, Cad Bane. Anakin did take a rise, so I think more people were playing him day 2 than before. Vader Cunning, and then Yoda, and then there's Kylo Tarkin Town, which is the deck we did not predict. So Kylo 5 Tarkin Town was not a predicted deck. It was definitely some spice that people did not know about or were not testing against. And as we move on, you can kind of see there's the Kylos, Akiras. There was some Thrawn. Not a lot of Thrawn, though. Sad to say, JJ. There was also some Iden Dynavolt. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. So conversion rate to day 3, Han Solo, Blue Force had 16.4% conversion. So they were down converting. Compared to their percentages. Sabine was at 11%, which was definitely a lot higher. And then there's that Kylo Ren Tarkin Town, obviously outperforming pretty much everything. There was some Palpatines, by the way, that made it to day 3. So that's super exciting that Palpatines made it to day 3.
Wrong color, but yeah.
I should have been more aggressive and played Palpatine. And then you can see kind of some of the other decks. There was also a 30 health Vigilance Han Solo 2 player. I don't know what his deck is, but he was there.
Classic set 2 Han.
Yep. Chancellor Palpatine also made it to day 3. So there you go. Alex's favorite deck of all times.
I saw it play, and I'm just like, what are people doing? Why are they playing directly into this deck?
Yeah,
when it was on stream, I'm like, why are they just giving them the win? Okay.
So you can see the conversion. So basically 45% came from day 1, 54% had the buy. Day 2 conversions. We had 22 that converted to day 3 versus the 236 that did not. And then 51 was the other amount that, converted that had the buy. So a higher percentage of people that had buys converted, but it is neat to see that 22 players out of that 258 actually converted and had to play 3 days. So if you were one of them,
it's wild.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, if you're one of them, how do you not win a PQ? Right? Like, what did you do?
And maybe they didn't go to a PQ. I don't know. So I did not pull anybody's name, but I did pull the statistics. So I thought that was an interesting statistic. That 30% of the day 3 meta was from day 1. So, all right. Before we move on to top 8 lists, anything else you want to say before we move on to top 8 lists, Alex?
Nah, I wish I could have gone. It would have been fun, but couldn't feasibly afford that. So, looked like a blast.
Yeah. So hopefully next year it'll be even. We'll have to have you next year. So
can you imagine if I brought Trench and there's just a Trench mirror on stream?
That would be god awful, and I don't think they would.
I don't think
they would. They would never do that. They would never put a Trench mirror on stream. You guys, you probably wouldn't go to time. She played pretty fast.
I mean, like, the deck doesn't typically ever go to time because, like, your opponent puts a card down and then you kill it, and your next turn it turns 30 seconds. So, like, you play a long game, you'll get like 20 turns, but it'll be like 15 minutes. At least in my experience. I'm not sure. Most of my locals now realize what this trench deck does, so they will either concede early or I'll concede to them when I feel like we're good. And they also just don't ponder too much when playing it.
Yeah, I don't know. People might not be expecting it. So maybe it should get into a testing gauntlet to see. I don't know.
I mean, I could test it.
All right,
you guys really want me to grind out some games?
Yes, grind out some games.
Practice.
Well, you're going to practice. You're going to PQ anyway, right? Like PQs were announced for Michigan. You're going to go to at least one.
Yeah.
So you go to one. You could bring Trench. I'm going to tell them not to pair me up with your ass.
All my locals know my Trench deck.
Well, all right. So officially, Alex is not running Trench at the PQ. Alex is going to run Sabine ECL.
Hey, if I say I'm on Kaz, people will believe me.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into top 8. So we have top 8 list analysis. That guy looks very tired. I really love that mat. I wish I had one of those mats. I don't care that it says champion. I just wanted one of the Vader mats. They look really cool, and they're going for like $2 or $3 grand. So I'm not going to get a Vader mat. So our top 8, Telzin, Red Force won the whole event, followed by Kylo Tarkentown, Quinlan Voss Tarkentown, a second Kyle Tarkentown, 2 Han 2 Blue Forceless, a Han Tarkentown Red, a Han 4 Tarkentown, and then a Vader Yellow made it all the way into the top 8. So I'm excited about that. That's hilarious because that was definitely off of all of our prediction record. We thought that Vader would be a fine day 1, but a bad day 2 choice. And look, it's all the way up in the top 8.
I didn't think you'd do bad.
You thought Vader would be top 8.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I thought that was one of the better decks going in.
Yeah, well, you should have told me. I would have ran Vader Yellow. I've been playing Vader Yellow since the beginning. Jeez. So as an FYI for future stream, we are going to actually have Magog for the Tarkentown Han deck. We are going to have him on the stream at some point. I'm working out details with him for recording, but he will be on at some point. We will record an episode or part of an episode at least with him in it. So Alex, I'll give you the honors of the winning list. You want to go over the winning list?
Yeah. It's Mother Talzin Red. The kind of the classic build of Talzin, like color choice. Not that it's very new, right? It came out this month, so Talzin Red. This has triple force lightning, triple force throw, double the hot shot blaster. Probably not smuggling that out for 5, but that is technically an option. Triple Acolyte of the Beyond, triple Director Krennic, triple Karis, double Night Sister Warrior, triple Secretive Sage, double Armed to the Teeth, triple of the Red Grand Inquisitor, double Jedi in Hiding, double Purge Trooper, triple Power of the Dark Side, double Fallen Saber, triple Dark Tyrannus, triple Talzin's Assassin, double of the Blue Kiadi, double Anakin, Blue Anakin, double the Sun, and a double Devastator, the red one. In the side, you have triple Cham, double of the red Kiadi, which is funny. A third copy of the Anakin, a Planetary Bombardment, the third red Devastator, and double Crate Dragon. And it's a very solidly constructed list. I like the Director Krennics because you actually have a fair bit of early when defeated to just kind of swarm the board a little bit and get out units. You do kind of tend to go through your hand, though, from my experience playing around with it, especially if they are force throwing you, but most of your draws are pretty quality anyways.
Yeah, and you do have some of the smuggle stuff in there, right? You know, if you need to with the arm to the teeth, you can do that. I don't know.
I mean, arm to the teeth is fine. The hot shot blaster, you're probably not smuggling out for 5, but you can. I like the sun as like a way to shore up a little bit of your late game if they manage to, or like slow you down a little bit. At least it gives you like a pretty substantial buff to all your units. They just get all +2/+0 if you have the force. So you can hit pretty hard. It's interesting they don't have. I mean, they only have 2 Anakins, but you've seen we covered Talzin decks right before this with another championship that had like heroic sacrifice in it, just to get the other -3/-3 off Anakin, and I don't think that's too bad of a card here, especially when you have a lot of these when defeated things.
Yeah, and I think that was that's what we had tested. Like I had tested that. I had also tested the sun, and actually, I think the sun does better than people give him credit for. He's still a big butt to remove.
He's a massive pain.
So, you know, the key. I don't know. The key in there is just really more of the big butt for the 5/7 because you can't play Poe, and I mean I guess you can, but you'd be paying 7 for Poe.
Yeah.
So I think overall, this is a very well-rounded deck. The keys on the side, like I understand why you have those. Like they're great for force throw, pitching it to turn your Anakins on. They are also decent for card draw if you're going against like a control style deck that you need it for. But
yeah,
it feels a little crazy. And I would probably just run 1 extra card and run 3 Anakins. Like just would do that.
Yeah, the triple cham in the side's a little bit weird to me as well. They must have tested pretty poorly into like heavy ramp decks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I also didn't win Worlds, right? So I'm sure they properly vetted out this deck pretty well.
Yeah, I like the deck a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of this. People are going to be very high on Talzin now. So we'll have an episode where maybe we talk about countering the meta, because I think now that they established the meta, right, like now it opens it up to say, okay, well, if I counter the Kylo Tarkatel list, we're going to go over in a minute, right? Does it counter this list? And like the things I want to run, does it do these other things as well? And I think that's kind of the big gimmick is can you tech against a couple of different decks with your deck for those things? So
I know like Talzin gives out the -1/-1s, right? And like the Talzin's Assassin gives out the -3/-3s and the Anakins, but it seems pretty rough into like anything higher than 1 health in space aggro. Because you don't really have that much. I mean, you got like Force Throws, Force Lightnings, Powers, I guess. Powers probably not as relevant. It just seems a little bit weak into like space aggro. That's not just like a bunch of 1/1s.
Yeah. I think it just kind of depends. Yeah, because the big issue with the space aggro is you can base race them, and because your Force Lightning can kill off, so a lot of them will run that clone combat, and Force Lightning just combats that. Like it's just like it costs 1 to make it a 3/3. So even if you only want to spend 1 resource because you want to like blade up something with Talzin, you could just do that. It becomes a 3/3. And it doesn't matter how many damn ships they have on the board; it's no longer swinging in. So I don't know. When I played Hantu Blue and was testing that, I didn't actually find Vader Yellow as a struggle. And I'll be honest with you, I played 1 Vader Yellow, and I didn't main deck bombing runs. I was main decking them, and then I was like, no, that's too niche to keep them in there. And I won game 1, and then game 2 was just nothing because I just put bombing runs in.
Sure.
But
so I mean, space aggro, that's not just a bunch of 1/1s.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't. Vader's not a bunch of 1/1s either, though. Like they're now playing 3 health shift all the time. So
sure. The high tokens, though, like you still are blunting is like actually killing stuff off, but Yeah, I mean, like it seems really solid. It's just wild to me that it's got like it just doesn't respect space.
Yeah, it does not care.
It's got 3 ships and the 60 cards, and they're all devastators.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Kylo Tarkentown. This was the surprise deck the Bantha Network brewed together. Yep, it's a Kylo deck that wants to control you and then win with Kylo. So
Yep.
it does one thing for the most part. Definitely it's an interesting deck. So let's go through it and then we can talk a little bit about it. You got 3 Witches of the Mist, 3 Force Lightnings, 3 Force Throws, 3 Heroic Resolves, 1 Blaster only. 2, we haven't seen this before, but it must be because of the Saboteur, the Infiltrators.
Yep.
So that Kylo can just swing directly to base. 3 Sith Holocrons, 2 Snapshot Blasters, 2 Mahdi's, 3 of the Karas, 3 Migs Mayfield, 3 Secretive Sage, 2 of the Battle Theories, which, by the way, those actually are pretty good in this deck because you have to discard a card and then you get to discard the card you want. So, 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 2 Constructed Lightsabers, 2 Fallen Lightsabers, 2 Perilous Positions, 3 Long Pikes, 2 Pillage, and 3 Anakins. This deck feels very much like a controlled deck, like Trench would be, except for with the Kylo's your endgame unit.
Yeah, I mean, I can respect Kylo swinging. I think it's up to 17 if he has all 3 hologram triggers. But I don't know. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Sideboard is 2 Grenade Strikes, 1 Open Fire, 2 Chams, 1 Rivals Fall, 2 Ruthless Raiders, and 2 of the Devastators. So this is a different deck. This deck is nothing but upgrades, and your interaction is Migs and discarding your upgrades and hoping that when you're able to stop Kylo when he comes out. With the Infiltrators and the Holocrons and the Snapshots, you have a very hard time being able to stop Kylo from swinging in that first time because you have the Saboteur. The Snapshot just makes it so he hits and attacks right away. Migs is there for you to discard that extra card, which then allows you to do 2 damage to either a base or a unit. So it's like a control. And when Kylo discards a card, it always triggers that first time. And so as long as Kylo has an upgrade to discard, which this deck has a million upgrades in it, you're throwing a card to do 2 damage. Which is hilarious in some aspect because like I feel like you could put Kylo and Trench together in Twin Suns, and that would be actually a really fun deck.
You won't have that many upgrades though, because they're all singletons.
They would all be singletons.
But I guess you can pitch a lot of stuff up with Trench, right?
Yep.
And Kylo.
You can pitch with Trench. You just better hope you hit your Migs. You know.
Search my feelings. We'll figure it out. And then it doesn't die immediately because it's a 2/2.
Exactly. So the deck is neat. So I do want to spend a few minutes on this deck because this was the surprise deck, right? Like this was a deck people were not expecting. I do think I don't know, when I was doing my testing, I was testing against Kylo Yellow, which this was a very similar version to how the Kylo Yellow was. And if they had a way of getting their plays off, you would just win. So Alex, do you think that the reason this deck wins or came in second and had 6 showings, 50%, it had a 50% conversion rate to day 3 is because people didn't know how to play against this deck? Or is this deck really that insanely amazing?
I think a lot of it is people were just not expecting this kind of deck, realizing what it is. People forget that Red has a bunch of super cheap upgrades because no one really ever played them, other than Hotshot Blaster, but that's barely a red card. So, I mean, it makes sense. like I toyed around with it. I played against people who ran this, and like it's manageable. It does get. I think people don't realize that like you don't have to save all the upgrades for like Kylo, because you like turn 1 Secretive Sage, turn 2 Falling Lightsaber, and tell your opponent to deal with a 5/5 shielded unit that pings you 1 every time it swings, which is really strong. So it can actually like do a lot of damage kind of out of nowhere, just because it has, if it draws those units, you can actually do stuff with them if your opponent's not playing like control. I'm a little surprised they ran only 2 snapshot reflexes. Again, I'm notoriously unlucky, so I would run 3 because I would want the maximum amount of chances for me to discard that into my discard pile, so I can actually swing with Kylo, because that's kind of the important part. Especially if your opponent's playing something like blue, where they can just rival swell your Kylo, or certain red cards, like people side deck Power Failure. Some people main like Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite, which just dumps all the upgrades on there. I mean, confiscates are a thing as well, a little bit less impactful when you just Voltron this up. Especially if they have the Infiltrator skill. Can't really just drop a bunch of Sentinels and hope that Kylo can't do anything.
Yeah.
But I can respect it. I think it's pretty hard to pilot, and I think most people were just really taken by surprise by it. And I think it's very much geared towards what people are perceiving the meta to be, with like a lot of Hans and all that kind of stuff. So if the meta is a little bit more diverse, I don't think this will be as strong of the showing. But we'll see. I mean, I've only done very light testing with and against it. So.
Yeah, because I think the biggest thing that this advantage it has is the Inquisitor, or the skill and the snapshot, right? Like just those being able to put those. If you didn't have those, like that's really like the big core mechanic of the deck. Like I don't know, like people play MIGs, and like I get that you can't kill MIGs if they're constantly like if they target on your round 1, but they don't have it. Like if I play Secret Sage, Kylo can't. Right. You better hope you have a Power of the Dark Side. Like you better hope you do, because you can't kill it other than that.
Right. Like and I'm just gonna start off with Secret Sage or like Krennic, right? Or Crafty Smuggler, anything with a shield. It sucks that you have MIGs in your hand because he's just gonna die.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. Like if you put MIGs on the ground, like I'm just gonna kill him. I mean, and maybe that's because we played that Kylo yellow Tarkin Town for a while, and we were using MIGs. So like when I see MIGs, it's kind of like when you see Piat. You like if they play Piat round 1, it's fine. You got 5 turns to kill it, but you better kill it after 5 turns, or you're gonna regret it. Like it's an instant regret. Yeah,
I actually ended up cutting MIGs from like my yellow Kylo, right? Just because I'm just like, well, everyone knows just to kill this 2/2, and like Perilous Position was a very popular card at the time, and that just like instantly kills them. So not too much effort there.
Yeah, and I think I think this deck may do well or better in some more aggro-ish style decks, right? Like being able to do that. And so I think this is still going to be a thing. But like I don't see how this always beats Telzin or Han, or I mean, like, could you imagine this against Trench?
Well, it can go pretty fast, right? Like MIGs can do 2 damage to your base when you discard things. I mean, you'll kill it with Trench, but like against like a normal control kind of deck, they'll also probably kill MIGs. But like it can go fast, right? You can do Fallen Lightsaber on Secretive Sage and hope they don't have a Power of the Dark Side or something. But yes, I think if people are good enough to preserve the health on their base by the time that Kylo swings, he doesn't immediately swing in for lethal. You have a little bit harder time as long as you can take care of the Kylo. But that's like kind of like Anakin rules, right? Like with Anakin Colossus, like if you have a game plan for Anakin, he didn't do a lot of damage to your base beforehand, you can kind of do pretty well against it.
Yeah, and I think if we go to Ian, Yeah, so so there's his record. He let's see here. He lost to Boba Fett Data Vault, and then he drew.
That outputs a lot of damage. I can see that.
Yeah. So essentially, that's the only thing he lost to was that, and he drew to Quinlan in the last round.
Again, this deck also seems very susceptible to space aggro. As long as you have an ability to do something against their MIGs.
Yeah. And the other guy that was running it, David Holland, it looks like he lost to Talzin, actually. Yeah, so he lost to Talzin, and then he drew to the Han Blue. Yeah, so this was tailored. In my opinion, this was tailored very aggressively to the Han Blue style list, which everybody was predicting to bring. So if they don't ban anything or make any changes, and people still are going to run Han, like this is a good deck to run into Han with.
Do you like the Mahdi's? Where like, man, you better kill that Mahdi, or else when Kylo comes out and swings with the Sith Holocron to kill the Mahdi to re-ready.
Yep, he's just gonna hit you twice. Yeah. They were playing that in the yellow, and I don't know, the guy I played, he did that, and then like he put his Mahdi down. As soon as he put his Mahdi down, I swung my Han into it, and he was like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was like, "Because you're going to bring your Kylo out and somehow trigger him." Like, no,
because I'm not bad at this game, right? Like, because I know what I'm doing.
Like, I'm not gonna let you trigger that, you know. Well, I'm just gonna pillage you or mill you then. Okay, I'm not gonna let you get your Kylo off twice. So, like, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play that game.
Yeah, like my opponent dropped a legacy run on me, and I just like, okay, well, I kill it. It was against Yellow Throne. They're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let you only kill one of my units, and then play the rest after I killed it, right? Like, I'm not gonna just stack a bunch of units there and wait for it to die at the end of the turn because he sneak attacked it in.
Yeah,
I have agency too. I can just kill it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it, and I wish I could ready my own unit. I just can't do. All right, the next one that we have is Woo's list. He came in third. Quinlan, Voss, Tarkentown. Alex, you want to cover that? Even though it's not changed much, but go ahead.
Yeah. Now this is Quinlan, Tarkentown. It's triple Forso, triple the Hotshot Blaster, triple Audi Gallia, triple Green Squadron A-Wing, triple L3, triple of the Red Sabine, double Sparkle Rebellion, double Surprise Strike, triple Cassian, one single disabling Fang Fighter that he drew every time he played on stream against that Vader guy. I felt so bad. Triple Guerrilla Soldier, triple of the 3-cost Yellow Falcon, triple Red 5, triple 4-cost Ahsoka, double Kira, double Quinlan, triple Plo, triple of Depa Blaba, and then triple of the 7-cost Yellow Han. In the side, you have double Bamboozle, a third Spark of Hope, a third Falcon, double Waylay, double Bombing Run, and taking a page out of Paul Heaver's book here with the double Agreed Parliamentarian in the sideboard.
And you know what that deck's for? The Kylos.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody else cares. Just Kylos. Like, to play that against me when I'm playing Trench, I guess maybe I'll be upset, but
you know what's even funnier, though? If you're playing as Trench, you can choose your opponent to restock cards. So you can just take those snapshots and throw them back in the deck with Kylo right at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, restock is not just for yourself. By the way, granted, I'd probably rather have the whole discard pile and also a body off of that, but, like, whatever. Food for thought.
Yeah.
And Wu played very well. Not terribly surprising there.
No.
Although, man, if I drew like Wu, I feel like I never lose a goddamn game.
Yeah, I don't know how he drew. Yeah, he draws amazing all the time. It was a little interesting. Like, so my list was very similar to his list. I was only on 2 Depa, but I had 2 Qui-Gons in there. I was testing Qui-Gon over Han. I personally like that better. I understand why people like Hans. But I just like the Qui-Gon, like being able to take out a 7 health unit and then put something on the top or bottom of their deck. Like
Yeah, it's like the Maul thing, right? Like,
yeah,
you can ambush for 7 or you can ambush for 5 with Vader. Granted, Han's a little bit different, but
yeah.
I
So
can respect the Qui-Gons.
Yeah, I like people. I understand why he probably ran the Han. I just like into the Han 2 meta. The testing the Qui-Gon was a million times better, is what I felt. But yeah, so this is your basic list for the most part. I love this list. I think the only other thing I would say is maybe that sideboard card, that spark or something in here. Like you could replace that with power failures too. Like, I mean, I don't know. I like the egregious Palatarian, but I don't know. It seems like we're gonna have to be. I don't know. We'll see how the meta shapes out. We're not gonna go over this list because it was pretty much identical to the other one.
I think it literally is exactly the same.
So, that's his teammate. This is the Kyle Tarkentown guy. So we're gonna just move past that, and we're gonna move on to a Han Blue Force Base.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing anymore. So I thought I don't even know if I've ever played this list before. Have I played this before?
Hey, there's a card in here that doesn't typically get played. Actually, a couple of them.
Yeah.
But
all right.
I believe it's your turn.
Yes,
go for it.
Yeah. So we have 3 Owen Lars, 3 Force Throws, 3 Secret Sages, 3 Yaddles, 3 Ezras, 3 Grogus, 2 Red 5s, 2 Yodas, 3 Churrets, 3 of the Idiot Warriors, 3 Keys, 3 Fell the Dragons, 1 The Force is With Us, 2 Daughters, 1 Anakin, which that's just crazy surprising to me. 3 Mace, 1 Obi, 1 Rivals, 3 Luke, 1 Chewie, and 3 Crate Dragons. The side was 2 Confiscates, 1 Tech, 3 Bombing Run, a 2nd Obi, a 2nd Rivals, a set 1 Mace, and a 2nd Chewbacca. So this deck is definitely
just 1 set 1 Mace.
Yeah, just 1 set 1 Mace, just because you can, I guess. I don't know. Like we tested that, and it's okay. I mean, like it's good against certain it's good decks,
against a bunch of tiny little dudes.
Like, yeah, it was great against like Ray type stuff, but it's
not my Ray stuff where it's all shielded. It doesn't matter, but
yeah. The Daughters was definitely the spice in this one, and only running 1 Anakin. Like definitely not going for the Anakin combo there, which is fine. I mean, it makes sense. They're not running Force Lightnings. We were on 2 Force Lightnings in ours, and I don't know how you don't run Force Lightning, but that's just me. I don't know how you don't do it. The Force is With Me is a good card too. And then but the 2 Daughters was definitely that was definitely different.
I don't typically see Obi-Wans either. Is that like a normal thing? Or?
Nope. That was also a little bit of a spice in there. The Chewbacca we tested and we gave up on it because we just wanted to play crates. Though I do think that maybe possibly Chewbacca might have play. The Obi's definitely was not something we saw ever. Just that wasn't, and we were running like I was on Poe. Is what I was. I was on Poe's. I also ran a Rivals Fall though. I ran 1 Rivals Fall main deck because I used it every effing game. Just no questions asked. They also aren't running Shitter Part. Nope. You only need 1 Rivals Fall. They don't have any. They don't have any Shatter points though.
Yeah, I was also going to ask you about that. Was it just? I was going to ask you if during your testing you realized you spent the Force too much for Shatterpoint, or like Shatterpoint was already too much, where like half your deck is like 4 drops, or what's up with that?
I think I think they did not because of how they were running this deck. They did not utilize. They did not want that Shatterpoint. The Shatterpoint does suck if they keep you off the Force. So that's the big issue is if they keep you off the Force. But I'll tell you what, like the problem I have is like we tried 3 fells and it like 3 fells is fine, But like the biggest issue we had with it was the way that
Anything with 4 attack.
Okay. I don't know what that was.
What were we waiting for?
Well, something happened. Like all of a sudden my system just went and it just like usually it crashes after that. Let me open my activity monitor a minute before we go back.
Is everything plugged in?
Yes. Yep, I made sure I plugged it in today. So I don't know the encoder. Oh, maybe it's Spotlight. I wonder if it was Spotlight activated randomly. Yeah, well, I'll keep this open a minute. All right, what were we saying?
Shatter points.
Oh, yeah. So I found during testing that the shatter point is a little bit more of the card itself was like, oh, we're going to be a little bit more crazy in what we're using it for, right? Because you do have to use the force, but we found like we also were only running 2 turrets, so like we didn't need, like, the force is not this big requirement because we were only running 2 turrets, that we had to have the force all the time. But I found the shatter points hit better than the fells. That was my problem. Like, and that was where I got, like, when we tested, we just put 2 and 2 and called it a day because it was just easier than saying, oh, we're going to focus solely on Shatterpoint. But I don't know how they get by without it, other than this deck feels maybe a little bit more aggro. They're using their deck as more of an aggro deck, whereas I play Han2 as a little bit more of like a soft control deck, right? Like they're running tempo and I'm running, I mean, because they're running Ezra's, for Christ's sake, you know, and they're not running Ogdobogdos.
Yeah.
But my Ogdobogdo is there to kill your turn 1 play or turn 2 play.
Yeah, and a lot of my testing, I would do like double fell, double Shatterpoint, double rivals, and that felt pretty solid.
Yeah.
I would also occasionally have like double open fires because control, but you know, that's I didn't have the force lightnings because I wasn't really running too many Anakins. Not a big Anakin in Han fan. Ran other things, but I also didn't play the deck too much because I'm just like, not my style. I don't like the deck. Don't think it's that great.
Well, it did come in 5th and 6th, so I will say.
Yeah, and it had, you know, highest representation and like good conversion. I get it.
Yeah,
it's good toolboxy, which I appreciate. I'm just not a big fan of the deck. Like maybe I just control their board too much that they just kind of flail around until they drop a crate dragon and I can kill it. That's kind of game at that point, but I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's I think basic. And I think the 5th and the 6th place were so close that if they weren't identical, they were insanely close together. I didn't put them on there, but this is, for the most part, this is kind of what we were seeing. The other one that we have is a Han Solo 4 Tarkin Town deck. So, Alex, what is this deck? And it looks very similar to the gray one we were playing around with.
Yeah, you got Pilot Han Tarkin Town. You got triple the Cartel Turncoat, triple of the V-Wings. Well, okay, I guess there is a yellow V-Wing as well. The Crackshot V-Wings, the 1-drop red one.
There's also a green V-Wing.
Is there?
Yeah, we used to play it. It's the one.
Yeah, the patrolling V-Wing. I love it.
Yeah,
the one
remember?
Draw my card.
That was like our favorite card.
My Pelp card. It still is. It's great. I love it. Anyways, yeah, triple Mining Guild, TIE Fighter, triple the Republic Y-Wings, triple the Wolfpack Escort, triple Daring Raid, double Jam Communications, triple Swoop Down. White. Only 2 never tell me the odds. Triple Han Pilot, triple Plo Koon, double Poe. In the side, you have the 3rd Jam Communication, just 1 Bamboozle, double of the Jedi Starfighter, which is, I'm sure, only there for Vaders, because it just does on attack 1 damage to a space unit. Double disabling fangs, a third never tell me the odds, 1 radiant, and then double Chewbacca pilot.
Yeah, which I don't understand. We're gonna have to ask him why he did that.
You know, sometimes you throw it on a ship and you tell them they can't kill it with control.
Yeah. I think that, I agree with you. The interesting thing of the never tell me the odds seems crazy to only have 2 in the main deck. Like that seems like a mandatory 3 of.
Yeah, because your only even card is the triple C3POs.
Yeah. The sideboard Jedi Starfighter card, that is also really good if like not just into the Vaders, but it is also good to like trigger your Tarkin Town type stuff too as needed, because it has the 4 health and you can do something against space decks for it. So yeah, I don't know. Like I like it. I like this list personally quite a bit. We've actually we tested a version of this list. So we actually had a version of this list that we were testing before. We just kind of abandoned it for the Hantu Blue, and the Quinlan was what we were real high on at the time. But I do like this list. I think this is something you'll probably see a little bit more of. This is definitely more of that space aggro type stuff, and you're going to be seeing a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, keep them off ships and you're probably good. But they do have a lot of cheap ships, and that's kind of how you counter that counter.
Yep. And they have a lot of card draw. So if a C3PO comes down, you don't let the C3PO live unless they have like a Han on something. Then you don't get a choice, I guess. But
yeah, just so everyone realizes too, you don't have to like. The only activation for Han's ability is just action exhaust him. You don't have to attack with anything. You just look at the top card. So like the very first turn of the game, you can Han Solo ability, look at the top card of your deck, and then just drop C3PO and draw it.
Yep.
It's not a very obvious interaction, but like you could do that. You lose out of tempo and you're not going to get initiative, but you drew a card.
Yep, especially if you have a bad hand or something. So
knowing me though, I wouldn't hit off Boshak because I'd hit both C3POs. I've done that before.
I have absolutely done that too. All right. The last list in the top 8 that we're going to cover is a Vader yellow list, very similar-ish, I think, to what we kind of seen before. This one has 3 of the droid starfighters, 3 First Order ties, 1 Forged Starfighter, which I think is a shame because I love that card. And I have like 3 hyperfoils of that card.
I like it more than the mining guilds, honestly, but I understand why they're there.
3 mining guild ties, 3 other Republic Y-Wings, 3 of the Ellen tie-ins, 3 no goods, only 2 eager escorts, 3 P-38s, 3 of the lurking ties, 3 sanctuary shuttles, 3 7 fleet defenders. Sad day, but only 1 stolen AT hauler.
They're in the side is fine.
3 of Vader's ship, 3 outmaneuver. Genius. I wonder who thought of that in Richmond. 3 waylay, 3 clone combat ships, 2 of the Krennic shuttle, 2 of the Geonosian patrollers. Notably absent in the list is Obi, just as an FYI, which I think is fine. Then you have 2 confiscates, 2 swoop downs, 2 more of the stolen AT haulers, 3 of the scimitars, and a third Krennic shuttle to round out your list. Again, no OBs.
It is also like notable that they don't have any 2 costing ships or pilots. They just got rid of all that.
Yep. You want to know why? There's a reason for it.
Go on.
The 2 costing ships don't give you enough health and prevent the turn 1 plays to stop everything. And the Victor leader, because of a lot of the upgrade hate, was just a wasted card. Like it just I actually tested Vader before I switched to Han. I just didn't like this matchup into Han, but when I tested again, when I played this list, I actually cut those at the end of last set because they just weren't doing a ton for me before. So
And
I like the
mining
scimitars.
guild
That's
ties.
hilarious.
Yeah, I like the scimitars. I'm surprised they're not main decked because putting a Vader on a scimitar is wild.
Dirty. Yep.
Yeah. Especially when you can damage it.
With a P38.
With your elite P38. Yep.
So that's what I was doing. I only had 2 of them main deck, but that's what I was running was those over the Krennic shuttle. But the Krennic shuttle is still really good because it gives you that stupid shield to put on something.
You can also steal people's shields, right? From like
yes.
their own units, like Secret to Sage and all that kind of stuff. So not irrelevant by any means.
Yeah, so I like this list. I mean, it's a Vader list. I was running Outmaneuver in my sideboard in Richmond, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have ground units, so you might as well exhaust that whole thing, especially now with 4 spaces kind of requiring a large percentage of your deck being ground units. So there you go. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to some cool lists that made the top 64. Different ones that we have. I put the Emperor Palpatine one in here just for you, Alex. I know it's not your favorite color, but I did put it in here just for you.
It is good old Palpatine, though. Yeah, it's Palp Yellow. And this has triple ISB agent. Sure. Triple Salacious, 1 Confiscate, triple McClunky, triple Aura Sing, triple Bazine, triple No Good to Me Dead, 1 Sneak Attack, triple of the Contracted Hunter. That's the 4/4 ambush that dies at the end of the round. But, like, whatever. You could also palp it if you needed to. It was going to die anyways. Triple the Elite P38s, triple Super Laser Tech, triple Resupply, 1 Waylay, triple Legacy Run, very funny and Palpatine, double Traitorous, main deck triple Change of Heart, which is what I love. I main deck Change of Hearts and any Palp Yellow, triple Vader, 1 Maul, triple Reinforcement Walker, and triple Devastator, as one should always have. In the side, you have a 2nd Confiscate, double Bamboozle, the 2nd Sneak Attack, double Fell the Dragon, double Palp's Return, and double Relentless. I mean, a lot of these force decks kind of act as mid-range deck, and Palpatine's generally really good into mid-range stuff. And when, a quarter of the field's Han and generally damaging their own units, Palpatine's pretty easy to trigger. To steal something. Maybe they're not paying attention and they're just like, I drop Crate Dragon on 8 resources, and you're like, great, I'm Palpatine. That's my Crate Dragon now.
Yeah, and I like the Legacy Run. That was kind of a neat little thing that they were putting in there. Because you're playing it on 5-6 resources. Typically, you can palp the stupid thing, and then you're able to spread your damage. Yeah, and you can spread it out. It's like an OB. This list also doesn't have OB as an FYI. Yep. People are moving away from it, and it's not the end of the world. How about that?
And people gave me so much crap for not having it in certain decks that I had. But the ISB agent's kind of interesting to me as well. I'm not sure if it's just because you could drop them to do 1 damage, so you always trigger Palpatine's ability, or if it's just the ping away things with 1 health. Because you can't McClunky it or anything. So it's interesting. Also, speaking of McClunky, you can McClunky the Contracted Hunter, which is kind of funny to me. To figure out different ways of preserving this stupid thing or benefiting off of it. But I like the deck. I'm not a yellow Palp player, but it seems really solid. The 1 Sneak Attack is a little bit weird to me. Presumably because you want to use it for things like the Legacy Run or your Reinforcement Walker, or a Devastator to swing for 10 into base, which is really funny. Play Sneak Attack, drop the Devastator, do 9 damage to something, then swing in for 10.
Yeah.
So I think there'd be a little bit more than one copy in the deck.
Yeah, and I think the big thing like with this is you have to be able to have a unit to help so that you can draw your cards. Like I understand like but like this deck feels like it struggles against anything that runs a pillage or anything that's going to run force throw and just say screw you, I'm going to like throw your hand away. I think that's also why those ISB agents are in there a little bit too, is so that if they do force throw you, you've got a 1-drop unit and they can't kill your unit you want to pelp.
I guess. I mean, it is a 1-cost thing, so I was thinking more if it's like a cheap unit to Palpatine or a cheap
It is that too.
ping. But yeah.
So
also 1 waylay is kind of wild to me.
yeah, you think you'd want a little bit more than that, right? Like you have 1 confiscate too, so like you're running a 1-off confiscate and a 1-off waylay. Like how often are you seeing those?
Yeah, you don't really have the actual removal, which is very strange in a Palpatine deck, which is kind of where the sideboard comes in with the fells. But I don't know. I mean, like the McClunky is cool, I guess, but like also it just seems a little excessive. But you have units
like
to
where's your
benefit off of it.
Forloms? Yeah, why are we not running Forloms as well?
Like, I mean, you have good McClunky targets, right? You have the Bazines, which is really nice. You can do it for the P38s. You can do it for Aura, even though it's a little bit iffy. I guess you could do it for Salacious, which is kind of funny.
You can. It's like an early Tarkin sound.
Again. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny. You could like pull Salacious up and then like drop him and then McClunky him.
Mm-hmm.
And then drop him again. Heal 2 and dole out 4 damage, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit unnecessary. Or like if you need the McClunkies, why are you only running 1 Maul? You think you might go like 2/2 with Vader. But like Vader target pulls too are kind of awkward because it's just like the 38s and like Bazines and Aura.
And
contracted
hunters because the contract
villains.
can't do anything, yeah.
Right. And like, I mean, Salacious is fine. Maybe that's why the ISB agents in there are pull 3 of them with a Vader.
I guess it's 1 extra damage, right? Because you can pull it, reveal the card, and then Vader hits for 6. I guess I can see that. That's not. If you get that combo, that's not a bad combo.
It works with like if you drop like an Aura or a Bazine, and then you have like a Salacious or an ISB to back it up with, because you can pull more than 1 card off of Vader, kind of thing. So
yeah, I can see that. I guess.
It's interesting. It's not my style of Palpatine, but I'm glad a Palpatine like got top 16 at Worlds.
Yeah.
Sorry, Galactic Worlds.
Galactics.
All right. What I said.
The next one we have is the Boba Fett Data Vault. There's nothing too shocking in here, but I did want to cover this because I think this deck has a lot more legs than people give it credit for. I ran into this issue when I played Kira into it.
Yep.
But I do think that like this also can give Hans trouble because they're damaging everything and they can't absorb damage. So I thought it would be fun to kind of cover it. Yeah. Like if they don't pull everything correctly, sure, fine. But I like the DK1 probe droid thing that they added. So this one has 3 Daring Raids, 3 of the Legion Prides, 2 DK1 probe droids, 3 of Alex's favorite card, HK-47, 3 Kylo's silencers, 3 TIE bombers, 2 Force chokes, 2 of the disabling Fang fighters, 3 droid missile platforms, 3 of the super laser tech, 2 TIE daggers, 3 open fires, 3 resupply, 3 of Boba Fett's ship, 2 of the IG-2000s, 3 of the MC, are they 30s? Yep. MC-30 frigates, 3 of the OBs, 3 Ruthless Raiders, 3 planetary bombardments, 3 Mauls, 3 Devastator Reds, and 2 Palpy Boys. Their sideboard is 2 of the Eager Escorts, 2 of the, I can't remember the name of that.
Craving Power.
Thank you. Craving Powers, 2 Pelps Returns, 2 Reinforcement Walkers, and 2 Crate Dragons. It's a little weird not seeing Crate Dragons main decked in this one, but you probably don't need them most of the time, especially into the Han meta.
Love me some Palpatines, though. That's always fun to see.
I know, I got all those special Palpatines. I could just play this deck.
Do it.
Put my special Palpatines in.
I've always liked Boba Data Vault. I think is like a solid deck. I guess it makes sense that they're playing Kylo Silencer instead of something like the Strike Ships, because you probably don't want both like your TIE Bombers and your Strike Ships to not be swinging back in space. So that's a little bit rough, but I mean, it's a solid deck. I enjoy it. I wish Dengar was in here. You have enough underworld targets for some shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't know if Dengar's good enough. I guess to me, you would cut the OBs and put Dengars in there if you wanted to do that. That's really the only spot you can put.
Actually, in retrospect, it's mostly just like the IGs and the fast fire sprays. If you had the strike ships, though, that's what the.
Then you could do that. You could put strike ships instead of the TIE bombers too, if you wanted.
Yeah, but then you're missing on indirect damage for Boba.
Yep. Not saying it's good, just saying it is.
Hey, HK triggers Boba's ability, right?
He does. Yep.
So, always fun.
And the DK1 Pro Droids are absolutely hilarious because they could strip off like constructed lightsabers, they could strip off generals' blades, shields. Yeah, like it's like
legal authorities.
Yeah. I like it quite a bit, actually.
A bunch of the non-named Jedi lightsabers, including Jedi lightsaber.
Yeah. I think for me, the only difference is looking at where you put Boba Fett. Like, I think I would go down to only 2 of the OBs, and I would have like I would probably, if it were me, I would really want that 3rd DK probe droid in there. But
wild that there's no First Order stormtroopers.
Yeah, they don't have those, and they don't have the what's the other TIE ship that pings when it dies? I can't remember the name of it. Or the little droid. It's not a ship. It says droid. It's the B1. Those battle droids. They have battle droids too that also do like 2 damage to your base.
Oh, the OOM ones.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, the 2 ones that deal 2 to the base when defeated.
Yeah, I like those over. Personally, I like those over daring raids, but I can see why you want a daring raid.
Play the OOMs and the HKs and the Dark One Pro Droids. You can almost justify putting in the green invisible hand.
You could, I guess.
take a page out of the Piet decks and just start running a bunch of low cost droids.
That'd be so dirty.
It's funny.
But I do like this deck. This is like a burn style deck. I'll be honest with you. Like, I probably should just switch and start playing this because this is like this is like my flavor of non like hard control that I really like. You know, like it's a better aggro deck than I
you know how annoying
people give it credit for.
Boba Fett is on an MC30. He swings for 10 with Overwhelm. And he's got 9 health.
Yeah. But I do think this is a list people have slept a little bit on, and I think this is going to be something you'll see at PQs. So, all right, let's move on. 48th place was Luke for Data Vault. I wanted to cover this list. I wanted to cover this list because like this feels like an Alex list here, minus the 1 home 1. Like, I'm a little confused why they only have 1 of those in there. But like this has
that long.
Yeah, this list is hilarious. So Alex, what is this list? Tell us what this list is.
Yeah, so Luke Pilot Data Vault. Do really like this list actually. You're right. So this is double salvage, double of the Crackshot V-Wing, triple R2D2 pilot, triple of the Hot Shot maneuver. That's the choose a friendly unit for each on attack it has, just do 2 damage to a different enemy unit, and then you also attack. So, pretty cool. Triple Bounty Hunter's Quarry, which I like because you can throw that on things, and Luke can just do 1 damage to them. Right? Like, you are doing damage across with Luke's ability and all that kind of stuff, so that's really cool. Double the Anakin's Interceptor, triple the 2-cost Black 1, triple Green Squadron A-Wing, triple the Gray Squadron Y-Wing, that's the indirect damage without being called indirect damage 1. Double Jedi Starfighter, triple Red Squadron Y-Wing, that's the one with the actual indirect damage. Triple Air Superiority, which I've always enjoyed. Double Stay on Target, should be triple, man, let me tell you. But triple Blue Leader, double Disabling Fang Fighter, double the White Falcon, triple Red 5, triple Sabine's Masterpiece, double Open Fire, double the Green Pose, triple Resistance Blue Squadron. That's the A-Wings that you deal damage equal number of friendly space units to 1 unit. Double the Adelphi Patrol Wings, always love those. Triple Chewbacca, and 1 Home 1. In the side, you have the 3rd Salvage, 3rd Disabling Fang Fighter, double Eager Escort Fighters, a single kit because those Aethers right. Just jack that up to 3 now if you're worried about those Kylo decks. Double Choose Sides, always funny. Double U-Wing Reinforcements, and a 2nd Home 1. And it's just space aggro.
Like, this is
not 1 health.
Yeah,
there you go.
Heavy space aggro. So
yeah, I have a local of mine who plays like Luke Pilot Tarkin Town, which is a very annoying deck to deal with. But I mean, Data Vault means you're probably better in the other aggro matchups because you have more health than him. The consistency doesn't really matter, and you just go and then just try to hit, and then you can ping things. I'm a little bit surprised there's no like K-turns in here, because like you can actually do that pretty decently by just like shoving Luke into a lower attack ship, because he gives you +4. K-turns are like 6 attack or less, right? So you put it on like your like the A-Wings, right, or like the Y-Wings or something that you can attack with Luke, do a lot of damage, and then K-turn him back.
Yeah, and yeah, I am surprised that too, because usually you see those in this in the Luke decks. That's like definitely something that has been happening. I like that they had 2 different Y-Wings in here. It's like, all right, cool, you know, like Merry Christmas, I guess.
Well, you also need a certain amount of fighters, right, for Luke's ability.
Yeah, so I like that part of it just because I think that's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, my local's running the Gray Squadron Y-Wings, and it does like kind of become annoying sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot less good when they have shields.
Yes, because then they just absorb it, and then you're like, oh.
Also surprised, like, you don't have like 1 more pilot in here, like a cheap one, like maybe Frisk or something, because it's a little bit more upgrade hate, plus like more pilots for Black Ones and just other ships.
Yeah, because you could put the Frisk in, right? There's no Luke pilots in here either. That was the bigger surprise to me.
Yeah,
is I would almost actually like that over the Chewies. Personally, myself, I like Luke pilot as a pilot in this type of a deck. And it, I don't know. It would be funny if somebody built a Luke pilot yellow deck, because I've never seen anybody run that, but then you'd be able to run Hans on some of this crap, right? And then you would have the Hans that could just snapshot in, right, to some extent.
Yeah, but like a lot of them have kind of low attack, but like the good ones aren't fighters, they're like transports.
Oh,
like,
that's
we have
right.
a lot of good like red fighters, right? The V-Wings, Black Ones, Anakin's Interceptors, A-Wings, all that stuff. But yeah, you're not doing a lot with like hitting someone with a mining guild tie and then using Luke pilot, right?
True.
So
yeah, I like the list though. I do like this
Yeah.
list. I think this is kind of like a crop up that we could see replacing some of Sabine as we move forward. So
it's a slower, more heroic version of my Von Reg deck, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. The next one we have is Pre-Vizsla Blue, made 49th. I will tell you this. We're going to cover. I had to cover this deck just because it was a control deck. And that's why.
Sure.
Like, I just was like, all right, we're going to cover something weird. I'm not. I don't. There's so many one-offs in this deck. I don't understand.
You should give this to JJ. He'll love it.
Yeah, JJ probably can build this deck, no questions asked. All right, so there's one repair, one restock, just one solely just in the main board.
Okay, well, coming from playing Trench, like one restock is very normal. In Trench, not so much because you do blow through your deck like crazy. But like, I understand one main deck restock in a control deck. Yeah. They would just lose the Trench.
They would lose this deck loses instantaneously to Trench.
Well, all hard control loses to that Trench deck. That's how it's designed, so I don't lose to other control.
Yeah, I don't. This deck is wild.
I love this.
3 top targets, only one Bazine, so one offsuit Bazine. So you just throw it in your and use it when you have to. 3 Pershings, 3 Entrenched, 3 I Am Your Fathers, 3 Merciless Contest, 2 of the mission briefings to let you draw more cards.
3 cost draw 2.
Yep. 2 Open Fires, which is wild. That's wild to me. 3 powers, 2 fells, 1 takedown, 3 vigilances, 3 bombing runs because they really were.
I mean,
did not like space aggro. 3 of the No Glories, 2. I don't even know what that card is, but you draw 3 cards.
Strategic analysis. That draw 3 for 5.
1 Anakin, 1 Bounty Hunter offsuit, 3 of the chain or the caught in the crossfire.
What a great card.
Does that card work if you don't have a unit?
Yeah, you choose 2 enemy units and they attack each other.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
It's not worth it for 6, but it's a really cool card. I like it a lot.
3 Super Laser Blast, 1 Vigilant, or 1 Avenger, 1 Nebula Ignition, and 1 Lowly Annihilator. I'm assuming this is a control mill deck. That's all that this does. Your sideboard, you have 1 repair, 1 restock, 1 more mission briefing, 2 perilous position, a second Anakin, a second bounty hunter query, a second Avenger, a second Nebula, and a second Annihilator.
That's funny.
This is not the boss deck we know and love. It's a Pre-Vizsla deck, and Pre-Vizsla comes out on 5 too. So like, you would not think this would make a good control deck because like, what are you doing bringing Pre-Vizsla out? You know,
hey, he deals damage equal in number of cards he drew this turn.
He does.
So you take 3 damage instead of 7 for I'm Your Father, and you give him 3 extra cards. Like, there's a bunch of cool stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
also, if you have enough cards in your hand, Pre-Vizsla is a lot bigger. Right?
Yeah,
because he's a 6/6 with Saboteur.
Yeah, I do know you could trigger his ability. Like he is kind of like a single mini OB. Like if you drew a bunch of cards on your round 5, right? It does allow you to be able to use his ability, then flip him, and do the damage twice in one turn.
Nope.
You can't do it when you. Why not?
If his flip is only if you have 3 or more cards, he gets Saboteur.
Oh,
if you have 6 or more, he gets +2/+0.
No, then you never do anything with him, I guess.
You just constantly do the damage with him.
Yeah, he just uses other ability. I don't know. I'll be honest. This is not my personal style of control deck.
It's kind of wild.
It's different.
You draw a lot, presumably. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't play this. Seriously, though.
Let's move on to Kaz Blue. Alex, this is reminiscent of something you like to play.
Yes, I have a very nasty Kaz Blue deck. Kind of went through it a little bit. This is not quite it. It's different. I can respect it. Not my preference, but it I can see why it does well. I mean, space aggro with a lot of high health units is pretty nice. So this is Kaz, just 30 health. I've occasionally seen a couple Security Complex. I did attempt a Colossus, but I settled on 30 health. So you got triple of the Cartel Turncoat, triple the Dagger Squadron Pilot. That's the 2/1 guy for 1. Triple R2D2 pilot, triple the Wolfpack escort, triple attack run. That is the attack with 2 space units neutral card from the last set. Triple the corporate defense shuttle. Love that thing. Big 3/5 for 2 that can attack. Triple fireball, triple the N1 starfighter, triple covering the wing, triple surprise strike, triple the death space skirmisher. I know you love that invader. Triple of the triple of both the yellow and the white Millennium Falcon. Triple stolen AT hauler, triple of the cargo frigate. Love that thing. 6/7 for 5 that gets reverse grit. Triple the Han pilot and double Plo Koon. In the sideboard, you have double Bamboozle, double L3, triple Ogdo Bogdo, and triple Outmaneuver. I love my main deck Ogdo Bogdos, and those things are so good when you just don't care like about the damage. They're just 5/5s for 3. But yeah, just Kaz space aggro, go really fast. I'm actually a little surprised they don't have something like Boshex, because you can kind of, if you trim like the N1 starfighters and covering the wings, make them a little bit different cards, you can actually hit Boshek pretty frequently. And I'm a little bit surprised they have like attack run over something like
Punch it,
yeah, which is what I usually run.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't have 2 space units. I also have like breaking ins, which are very good.
Yeah, I say breaking in is a lot better. I think the big thing. I don't like that Dagger Squadron pilot personally. I would rather run a Y wing over those things. And Y wings aren't even that good.
I have triple the Republic Y wings in there too, because like 1/3. If I put Kaz on there, I don't get taken down immediately. Yeah, because I have 6 health.
So I like those better overall than the Dagger Squadrons. I don't like those. I do understand some of this. I will say, I mean, the Bosheks, I mean, you would have to trim a little bit more, I think, to get Bosheks in there.
I think I have like 16 cards that are even. So as long as I'm drawing 1 card off Boshek, you're generally really good. I do hit 2 more frequently than I hit 1.
Yeah,
just because that's how math works.
Yeah, and I've been saying this before, like the surprise strike, yeah, whatever. The 1 extra damage is great, but like being able to just use breaking in, like I switched to breaking ins in the Vader deck before. So yeah, you must have just run the covering of the wing then.
Oh no, I don't have covering the wing. I don't have attack run. I just have like surprise strike, breaking in, punch it, and a couple waylays.
Yeah. Which they notably don't have.
Which are really nice. Lothwolves are great. You lose the Sentinel, but it's still a 3/3 for 2.
Well, it's only if he only loses the Sentinel if you choose for it to lose Sentinel.
Yeah. If you want,
you could just leave it. Yeah, you could just leave that thing on the ground and say, "All right, fine, deal with my 3/3, baby."
I also have Leia's instead of like the Death Squadron skirmishers, because Leia is just an incredible first turn play when you could drop a Leia and like a Cartel Turncoat.
Yeah.
Or like a Y-Wing or anything, or just like sometimes you just need to exhaust something big.
Yeah. I like the deck. I do think this probably caught a lot of people by surprise, because this can be fast. It can come out of nowhere. I played against a Kaz green. That was one of my rounds, and yeah, I was like, I don't like the one game he didn't
kill all their spaceships.
Yeah. My Han just ate it pretty easily, though. My Han ate it pretty easily. So I don't know. Like I don't know. Maybe he was just a little bit less experienced. I think that might have been a little bit of it. But yeah, like in one game he didn't have any turn 1 plays somehow. I was like, I don't know how you don't have a turn 1 plays in this deck. Like you should definitely have like 14 turn 1 plays.
I got a lot more than that. Like, how do you? Oof, that's rough.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the Chancellor Palpatine list, and this will be the last one that we cover, because this is the 64th place one. So there you go. This one has 2 Anakin Skywalkers, your favorite.
Anakin pilots.
Yes, Anakin
Not
pilots.
the other Anakins that have a serialized version of. Those things are worthless.
3 Bazines, 3 N1s, 3 Yaddles, 3 of the Padawans, 3 Red Squadron X-Wings, which actually, I feel like putting this deck together because I have those stupid things in Prestiges. Like, somehow I have 3 of those in Prestiges. I don't even know
Not the
how.
Red Squadrons.
Yes.
Those didn't come in Prestige.
Blue Squad. Oh, I have Blue Squadrons then.
Yeah, those are really good.
Yeah. I have Blue Squadrons. That's
Blue
what I have.
leaders.
Yeah. 1 Tech, 3 Yodas, 3 Power of the Dark Sides, 3 Frozen and Carbonites, 3 Darth Tyrannuses, 3 of the Talzin's Assassins, 3 Shatterpoints, 3 No Glories, 3 Anakin, 3 Luke, 1 Lonely Snoke all by himself, 3 Super Laser Blasts, and then a Lonely Avenger by himself. In the side, they have 2 restocks, which I don't know what the restocks are in there for. I guess we could talk about that in a minute. 3 Bamboozled, that makes sense. 1 Kaz Fireball, 3 Jedi Lightsabers, and 1 Vigilance. I would be running 3 Vigilances main deck in this deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to play this deck. I'm just going to be frankly honest that this is not a Tanner style deck. I tried to get Palpatine to work and I just could not do it whatsoever. They do have a lot of ways of getting the Force in this deck, kind of. At the beginning, but that's about it. I don't know. Like I don't know what this deck, because you don't have a leader, so you constantly are flipping, and I don't know. You have to trade with units to get your leader to flip, but if you don't trade with them, I don't know. So I don't understand. I'll be honest, I don't understand how to get this deck, how this deck plays, and I don't understand 1 Vigilance. Like that's like.
It also doesn't have like a particularly stellar endgame either. Like, I mean, you got like triple Luke, a Snoke, triple Anakin, and like an Avenger, which is nice, but for the effort you're putting in to get to that end game, it doesn't seem like it does enough to like close out games. Maybe that's just because I play a lot of decks that have really strong end games, because I try to get to the end game and win in the end game instead of playing a lot of aggro. I just don't quite get this. Also seems like it loses the space aggro, but like
I don't know.
There's control, and like you it's weird because like the N1s have like the low health for trading into spaceships, but also like your other first turn plays. I mean, the Youngling Padawan makes sense because you're running a 4 space, but like Yaddle has 4 health, so you're not really trading Yaddle, but you are getting the Restore 1 and the Force, but that like kind of messes up like a turn play. I don't know. I don't like Chancellor Palpatine at all, ironically, and this is not really my style of deck, and I feel like if I tried to build a deck with both heroic and villainy aspects, I would always have the wrong colored cards in my hand, which I feel like does happen semi-frequently.
Yeah. I do like, so like I said, some of it makes a little bit of sense. Like I think you can use your Yodas and your Yaddles to begin with to, heal and do your fun things, but I don't know.
Yeah, because like your leader flip healing is like there, but not like incredibly relevant. Like it's just you do 2 damage to their base when you flip them back, and you get a 2/2 token. But I'm not a strong believer in this deck.
Yeah, I will say
he plays it very, very good.
He plays it very well. They made top 64. We did not think of the cool labor site or the cool packs or whatever.
I can't wait for everyone I know to try to play this deck, because that will just be feasting on that. Because I think it's incredibly difficult to play, and I don't particularly like the lines. And knowing me with very strong end games, I'm okay with 3 Lukes, a Snoke, and an Avenger.
Yeah. Not having all the Avengers seems weird. Most of the time, I see them with the Avengers. So, but I mean, like the guy did very well. Maybe I'll find the guy. Maybe I'll see if I can find whoever played it and see if they'll come on the show too. So we can just talk.
Ask him why he's playing the wrong Palpatine.
Well, we can. That'll be the opening line of the show.
Like they just disconnect immediately from there, right?
No, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I do know he's in a couple of my Discord. So I will see. Maybe I'll see if maybe we'll just have like everybody on all the time. Maybe we'll just
right. Not like the trash the guy. Like obviously he's incredibly good. I just don't get a deck like this.
Yeah, no. The idea would be is let's have somebody on that can actually explain. Let's explain the deck. Let's talk through the lines. Like I think that would be a fun thing.
We should get them on Trench. Same colors.
Well, we could. Maybe we'll have him and our Trench person on at the same time.
We should have an all Trench tournament. The Trench Open, the Trench Connection. There we go.
No, Alex. Do you want to play 3 rounds for 6 hours? No, I don't.
I want one viewer, and only one viewer.
No. You can ask Justin. Maybe Justin will stream it. There you go. We'll let Justin stream on his channel. The all Trench. No, we're not doing it. No. Let's do an all Jabba. How about that? Let's do an all Jabba.
No, but that'll be fun and interesting and interactive. I just want to stare at 2 people staring at each other for half an hour.
I mean, what do you do in a trench off? You just hope you hit your vigilances before them?
You better resource your tech and your restock. And then hope you hit all the vigilances.
And hope that they can't kill your tech when it comes out. I mean...
Yeah, you gotta annihilate their annihilators.
Thank God Annihilator can't touch your resource row. So... But all right, well let's wrap up. This is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be for tonight. So there you go, guys. Y'all got a lot of extra information that I did not plan on. I thought this would be a little bit quicker, but I mean, what do you expect? So
yeah, that's you and I talking about meta decks, right? That's always going to go along.
So. But yeah, so we will be back. We'll be back Sunday. We will actually be talking about the new Secrets of the Force. So it'll be a little bit more of a later week probably because we're going to talk about Secrets of the Force. We're going to talk about Season 1. Secrets of Power. Yep. Because Tanner knows exactly what he's talking about. We're going to talk about Season 1. We're going to do that type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I had something else I had planned, and I don't remember what it is, but that's probably what we'll cover for the most part. Really just kind of those 2 topics for it. So with that being said, thank you all. Have a good night, and we will see you on the Flippity Flop.
Thanks for listening.